Hello, we're doing this thing again. Okay, so I just recorded a video about The Forest, which I watched today, along with The Ritual, and can you see my lovely crumbling face paint? God, it looks like crap. The third movie I watched today was Shutter Island, but right now I want to talk to you about The Ritual. Spoiler alert, by the way. Huge spoiler alert. So The Ritual is, the basic premise is these four guys want to honor their dead friend by going on a hike that he suggested through Sweden. One of their friends, Luke, sorry, I've watched 3 movies today. My memory's a little shot. Luke is our protagonist, and he is the reason that their friend Robert is dead. Dom is another guy in the group. He twists his leg, and his knee gets screwed up. So they're like, okay. It'd be 14 hours on the trail, but we can just cleave our time in half and go through the forest. The forest is, of course, the domain of a creature, which is being worshipped by this cult. And that creature is called Moder. Now, I want to talk about this in terms of the actual Norse mythology. First off, the name Moder could be connected to the name Modi, which is an anglicized version of Modi, the name of one of Thor's sons. It means mighty. Now, Moder, more directly, is connected with the Old Norse and Old English word for mother, which makes sense given that Moder, spoiler alert, provides everlasting life to his cult members. You know, even if they're mummies, they're still venerating him and all that. Moder is described as the bastard son of Loki. And this is very interesting because Loki is ascribed to the powers of shapeshifting. Moder very specifically can cast illusions, and very, very powerful illusions. Our protagonist keeps on seeing the convenience store where Rob died, and he's to blame for that death, and he's dealing with that guilt that he doesn't want to acknowledge, that Dom holds against him. The other guys are like, can we just not fight about this? Now, the name Loki, as in that Loki, yes, can be linked to our own word for lock. And there are other Swedish connections. There are Swedish folk phrases that refer to spider webs as the nets of Loki, or Loki's nets. So it's entirely possible that Loki's name is related with the word to tangle, or entangle, which makes sense given that Moder can ensnare and trap people in both the illusions and as sacrifices to himself. Now, they describe him as a Jotun, which is interesting. In most iterations, the Jotun or Jotnar are described as giants, and this is the general translation. But this often leads people to think that they are an entirely different race than the gods, like the Vanir and the Aesir. As far as I understand, no. They are a related race. They're not a separate species, though, because the Aesir do mate with the Jotnar. They do mate with them often. Freyr gets a Jotun wife. Loki's father, I believe it's Farbauti, I think, is a Jotun. Thor's mother, also a Jotun. So it's more or less that the Jotuns, yes, giant, but not necessarily superhuman in height. Rather, Jotun is more of an intranslatable phrase. Now, I'm also not an expert in Old Norse studies. I would recommend, what's his name? Dr. Jackson Crawford. He's got a great YouTube channel. I'll put a link in the description below. But the Jotun kind of represent, for Asatruar today, people who worship Odin and Thor today, they represent the chaos of nature and chaos of the universe, which makes sense given that Moder is bound to that forest in Sweden. Very good movie overall. Well scripted, well acted. Plenty of really just fantastic stuff in there. I think it would be really fun to get like an Old Norse expert to actually talk about this film. But those are my thoughts based off of my understanding from Old Norse experts. And yeah, I'm Endymion for the Dork Arms, etc. That was my stuff on The Ritual. It's on Netflix. I recommend it. And happy Summerween. Toodles.